That's right. Pretty recently, I watched Talladega Nights, as I do about once a year, and it instills in me a dire need for NASCAR. To honor Ricky Bobby, we're at Talladega, and look at this. We are not in his car. I bet for sure that you probably thought that we were, but we're repping Cane's because I love the Caniac. Get an extra toast, but if you ever go there, just keep in mind that that combo is about 2,000 calories, which is more than I realistically eat in a day. Pretty crazy. I used to eat that like 3-4 times a week, maybe even more than that. So we're starting in P4 in the Cane's car, outside line, heading up to the green flag, and we have to wait for car number 24 up there. As soon as he goes, everybody else goes. I think you're technically supposed to wait for the green light to come on, but people don't really do that. We're actually right behind Ricky Bobby as well, car number 7 right ahead of us, in a really good start for our first ever race at Talladega. P4, I was pretty happy with qualifying. I don't know how I got a decent time there. I literally just drove the track as close to the yellow line as I could, which I guess is the way to go fast. Already, it looks like they're too wide for the lead of the race, and that guy on the outside is going to struggle. I'm assuming he has nobody behind him. He's trying to side draft, which should pull that Mustang back, but the Mustang gets a bump from Ricky Bobby. Car number 3 in the marijuana car pulling up to the side, and he's going to give a helping hand to the Canada Racing guy on the outside who started in P2, and then he's going to try and side draft us a little bit, and it seems like two lines are going to be forming here as we come around to finish off the first lap. Still in, well, actually, I take that back. It looks like we're about to move up into P3 as the Canada Racing car is falling back. He has nobody to slip off of. He's not really getting pushed from the car behind, but we're also checking up on the inside. There's a third line forming all of the way on the outside. I don't really drive NASCAR, as I'm sure a lot of you know, so my game plan for this race was just to stay on the inside, stay in the draft of Ricky Bobby for as long as I can, push him if at all possible, which is also something that I kind of underestimated about NASCAR. I mean, I felt like you could just kind of bump the same way you do in road cars, but it's honestly a little bit harder in NASCAR because not harder, but it's harder than I thought. There's like a bubble that forms between the two cars, which in this case I'm going to break through because Ricky Bobby is slowing down to bump the car ahead, and here is a sin that I am committing. Berate me in the comments. This is my first oval race at Talladega. I mean, I've done like the small ovals a lot, but I bumped him while he's kind of trying to bump this guy. I bumped him to the side. He ends up pit maneuvering the leader of the race, and that is 100% my fault. It is going to put me up into the lead though. And before you say anything, I have heard the term "don't bump the bumper," but honestly, I thought I was him. Turns out I'm just another newbie NASCAR driver, for the time being, that is. So Ricky Bobby looking to go around the outside. You can actually see the front of his car right ahead of us as we cross the line onto lap number 3, and he is going to cross in P1, but there is a much larger line behind me. I don't know if that means anything, but I'm hoping that it means that we can, as a group, garner more speed. He's on the outside going around the first corner, which is going to set him a little bit behind through the corner, but he should be able to get a better run out. And he does have some people queuing up behind him, and it looks like they're kind of trying to do the thing where they drop back and go forward to push him, but car number 5 here is just going to say screw it all, go in the middle for no reason, end up swapping positions with the Kellogg's car, who, with the cooperation of the two ahead and one behind, are going to form another line. Car number 5 actually still not wanting, well, he's eventually going to join down into the bottom line, but it is a Canes versus Wonder Bread race at the moment, as I am leading the inside group, and we are hauling ass out of the final or penultimate corner of lap number 3. This guy is doing all he can. I think he's trying to get close enough to side draft car number 15, but not quite managing to do it, and I think he's aware that the guy behind is wanting to push at the same time, and trying to get side draft while being pushed can be risky because you just become slightly unpredictable to the person behind, and you can tell that as a group they're slowing down on the outside, and if we zoom out, the car behind has left them and he's decided to join our line on the inside, so it's a 2 versus 5 at the moment. Could be advantageous to the two on the outside if they really work well together, but the guy behind me was honestly fucking killing it. He was pushing me around every single corner. We're just about, as a group of 3, going to leave the 4 behind us, totally behind. Wonder Bread, Ricky Bobby, stuck on the outside by himself. He has no option other than to fall in, which eventually he does, and it may be too late, as they are already about, I'd say, 4/10 off of our little group of 3. And in some instances, if we were going fast enough at that time, we could have dropped them, but we're all rookies here. Like, keep in mind that this is a rookie race. I'm like 1600 IR, like 1700 IR, something very low. Car number 12, boggling move as he moves up for no reason and is going to lose every position on the inside, lose slip. not even attempting to side draft anybody and just fall back into the back of the group. Maybe that's where he wanted to be, I'm not quite sure. Skipping ahead to lap number 7, this guy disappears. This is the Frosted Flakes car. Eventually he disappears again, and you can see that he was just about being pit maneuvered, and in fact he was. We just couldn't see the entire journey of his car getting pit maneuvered. Myself and P2 are in a pretty decent spot here with a gap. It's not huge behind, but it does actually take them a while to catch back up because car number 15 behind was just absolutely killing the pushing game. Now we're coming up on some lapped cars. You can see one rejoining the track from beneath the apron, so everybody's going to go around the outside. This could be opportunities for something to get shaken up. Granted, nothing here really does, but it's just, I mean, something could have happened there. I would say the only thing that did happen is that the car behind kind of fell off a little bit, so he had the opportunity to look for a run, but instead opts to just stay behind, and that's kind of scary to me. I know P2 typically has the biggest advantage in NASCAR. Somebody getting out of the line, another car number 5 replacing this car number 5, and he's not too happy about that. Gonna pit maneuver him into the wall, then slide back across the track, collecting car number 8, taking 2 of our, well, I guess 3, including himself, out 3 challengers out of the race, and it's down to 3 people for the win. That's it, and I'm at the front. I'm in a great position. The guy behind, you can see him kind of backing off through the corners quite a lot, and just how powerful his run is as he gets onto the throttle out of that penultimate corner and going around the final corner, which is technically just like a kink. This guy reappears. He is a lapped car, as are the other 2. So there's car number 12, car number 16, who's me, and then that car directly ahead of me, who is now P1. It's car number 15, and this is the penultimate lap, so we're running out of time to do anything. Not a lot that I can actually do here, as we have 3 lapped cars on the right side. They're starting to kind of settle back into the line, but for the time being, I'm just want to remain around this guy, as, like I said, I think P2 has the biggest advantage in NASCAR, or from what I've seen, it's typically P2 who always comes around with that insane run and a photo finish to the line. So I have that in my mind, but at the same time, I was at the front for so long that I felt really comfortable in the front of the pack, whether that was a false sense of confidence given to me by car number 15, I'm not sure, but I'm going to try and take the lead back early on in this next lap, moving around the outside, pretty far around the outside, and thank goodness the car ahead pulls in front of me, giving me slip in the center line just long enough for car number 18 to swoop around and then give me slip again. So we're inside outside 2 by 2 by 2, and we're just ahead of the leader at the moment, trying to push this guy around corners, really risking it all, hoping that he doesn't tuck into that inside line and hang me out to dry, because having this slip right now is crucial. You can see the speed that we are pulling as a line, and look at this. The car who was in front of car number 15 leading that inside group has pulled up, so 15 has no slip for the time being. I get to ride a high line, cutting down to a low line for the final corner, which is about as advantageous as you can get when you are in the lead of the race. There is a car ahead of me though, and I hit him, but thankfully me hitting him sends me back into car number 15, killing his run. Car number 12 is basically out of the equation, and it looks like as we run up to the finish, there is no chance of anybody else finishing, and we win this motherfucker. Let's go. First race at Talladega, and like, oh man, the shaking that NASCAR gives you, like my whole body was shaking. This is a rookie race, like for nothing. It literally means nothing, but the adrenaline that you get from it is just amazing. So we were P1, we came across for the line. Ryan, huge shout out to him behind us, as he was pushing us around flawlessly for that entire race. Almost a 3.0 safety rating and gaining a lot of I rating. I don't know if I've ever gained 96 I rating in one race. That's insane. Next race, there we are, pretty similar starting position. We're in P5, so one place behind where we were last time, and we're starting on the inside. This race is going to highlight how little I actually know about NASCAR and how just not used to it I am. Car number 1, jumping the start, insane jump of the start, like the green lights are going off like now, and we've been full throttle for probably 8 or 9 seconds. I don't know what the etiquette is around that, but the 2 guys ahead of me were not very happy about that. They immediately looked to go around him, and I thought that, okay, as a group, we can all follow him around, so I followed them on the outside. Then they tucked to the inside, both of them, just enough to kind of kill my speed difference to the previous leader, car number 1, and I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh my, I need to turn a spotter on because I don't actually drive with a spotter. Maybe that would make a difference here, but I really just pit maneuver myself on the hood of car number 1 straight into the wall. And yeah.
Well, we're already wrecking.
Yeah. You weren't clear there, big.
Yep, my bad. Thought I was.
No, nothing to say about that, honestly. It was just plain and simple. I ran into somebody and killed myself. Losing all of that iRating that I just gained and finishing damn near last place. Don't know how two people are behind me. So we're going to have to go again because you cannot end on something like that. Starting damn near last place in this one as I failed to put in a qualifying lap. And this was a really good race, actually. Like that first race, it was kind of like Goldilocks. The first one was too good, the second one was too bad, and now we got to have one that's just right in the middle. And starting in P22, I think hoping for a just right finish is about as good as I can hope for. I know anything can happen in NASCAR, but after the self-murder that what is that called? Suicide that I just did in that last race, I wanted to stay alive and just keep a fighting chance for whatever position it was, just to have some sort of battle up until the finish of the race was my goal. Riding the high line, which I usually never do, but I started in the high line and a gap hasn't opened up on the inside for me yet, so I'm just going to ride it out here, see what happens. A lot of times I see the high line, getting that insane run out of the corner and then getting ahead, falling behind in the corner, and just the ebb and flow of NASCAR, I suppose. But I needed to get the full experience, so we are going to remain high. Superflow right ahead of me, blinking in and out, which is a really strategic move, actually. He's removing slipstream from me for about like 0.03 seconds, which doesn't really make a difference, but I mean, it actually makes no difference as I am all of the way in the back, and that gives me a lot of freedom to kind of experiment with things, popping to the middle, popping down low, just feeling out the whole track, eventually moving forward pretty far as there's just so much open space on this bottom line, open space that will be lost as everybody checks up on the inside line, heading down the very long straight, and the outside line is going to just absolutely rocket ahead. Car ahead maybe looking to the inside. I'm kind of going to force him to the inside. I mean, not that I was already there, but I think he saw me kind of peeping there and had to make a decision quick. Decided to get right ahead of car number 22, who's pushing him down the inside, and we are still at the very back of the pack. P22, exactly where we started. So much to gain here, so much to be gained. The Taco Bell car is moved up to the middle line, which opens up another position for me on the inside, but I don't want to just sit in one lane this race. I did that in the first race, and it went well, but I was also at the lead. Nobody got around me, so I really want to try and take some risks, moving all of the way to the outside, gaining a lot of places, and Ricky Bobby is in the wall right ahead of me. Ooh, somebody else is in the wall. We'll take a look back to see what happened there. We got pretty close to him. Car number 24 with generations of Yoda on his rear end goes sideways, as does somebody ahead of him. Ricky Bobby smacking him. Ricky Bobby, car number 16, the other Ricky Bobby was the one that we almost ran into. And everybody mostly seems to get through there just fine, apart from us, who had the opportunity to. Hindsight is always 2020. I don't know why we got on the brakes so hard. Goodbye, Ricky Bobby, and thank God, I cannot highlight enough how happy I am that this black and white Camaro made it through with like the exact same amount of speed and time lost as us. Because all of these guys up ahead, I mean, they're super far ahead and they're in a big group, but that opens up the opportunity for them to be able to start fighting each other, and myself, and I'm going to call this guy car number 5, another car number 5. It seems like everybody is car number 5 today, are going to have the opportunity to just work together, just the two of us, and try and catch these guys. And I realized he wasn't willing to push me. He would kind of just like sit in the bubble and push me with like the arrow push, the bubble push. I don't know what the name for that is, but I wanted to push, and this is a good opportunity for me to learn because I hadn't really been in a position to push yet. So around corners, I was trying to kind of cut up and then cut back down so I could get enough speed to go through the bubble. Looks like somebody is dying up ahead of us as we are about to come up to a lapped Ricky Bobby car, and that will move us up one position. And let's skip back briefly to see how that happens. Car number 28 is going to get bumped by this guy, 3CHI, fly into the Superflow, pitting himself, and into the wall he goes. Tons of damage. There is a fast repair, but I mean, the time lost from that is basically putting you out of the race. Coming up on one of the Ricky Bobby cars, 16, that's the one who we had to slow down to avoid hitting, and he is lapped at this point, but having a group of 3 I mean, that could be good, right? 3 is better than 2, and I think the more cars you have, if they're all willing to cooperate, the faster you'll go. Somebody pulling into the pits ahead of us as well at the end of that lap as we are pushing Damien around, and that will promote us now up into P13, so a couple of positions gained. And if we could get into the top 10, we started P22, I think that would be a pretty good result. And the lead group just began dropping off one by one like flies. Car number 11 has lost the slip somehow, and he does not even want to participate in this race anymore. Flinging to the inside, locking up his brakes as I almost kill the car ahead and manage to settle back behind. Okay, so this is something that if you are a NASCAR driver, please tell me if I'm doing something wrong here. Now, I do realize I was driving with 540 steering rotation, so my car was a bit twitchy, but I feel like this guy ahead was going left, right, left. Like, there were some instances where he would keep the car settled, but that first race, like, my whole goal was just to keep my left tire basically on the yellow line in a straight line, but I could not seem to line up for more than, like, I mean, okay, so as I'm saying this was a really good, he stayed still, and I got to push him quite a few times there, but for the most part, he was left, right, left, and at some point, I just didn't even want to be a part of it anymore, and I almost kill him here, decide, you know what, I'm just going to settle out and let this guy push him because I was getting frustrated. This, like, maybe this is relatable, I don't know if other people have this frustration, but, like, if I'm trying to push somebody, and they're going all up and down, granted, I'm not a great pusher, but like as the car in front just let the wheel just be straight, right? Okay, rant over. This guy seems to not care. They were both going all over the place, and I was just sitting behind watching them. But maybe that's what I look like too. It probably is. The lead pack is fucking, I'm going to say it, massive. Hooters car on the outside gets pit maneuvered down to car number 24, back up to car number 14. He's all over the road. Somehow nobody is off there. Everyone has survived. He finds space on the inside, pulls immediately back out of it as I'm sure he was still loose. And the lead 3 seemed to be pulling off at this point. Car number 4 still in the fight after all that drama and maybe looking to do some side drafting here as he seems to be caught out. It is going to be successful with car number 40, but 40 does not like that. Touches him into the wall, and that is going to slow him down quite a bit, just narrowly being avoided by the Stanley car and falling all of the way back to the back of the group. I think he was P4 at the start or halfway through that last lap, and now he has fallen back to the very end of the lead group. And that lead group was moving so fast that he just could not keep up, and he falls all of the way back to us. Potentially there was some damage there as well that could have definitely been hurting him, but I mean, we're flying at this point. We're doing 50s, and as we come around past him on the penultimate corner, he tries to get in the slip, but it makes no difference. And actually looking at his car, there was a bit of damage, and I just cannot imagine. That's got to be the worst feeling in the world. Just falling. The lead group on the final lap is still all together. This Mustang has been leading for the majority of this race, and the Mustang behind getting an aggressive push in there. The Canadian car looking around the outside. This is a lapped car, keep in mind. Car number 40 is a lapped car, pitting P2, swiping across to kill who was P4, was about to be promoted into P3, taking out 2 cars. So we are going to launch on the last lap from P11 after we pick up both of these to P9 on the penultimate corner. So we're in the top 10, amazingly, and because of all that fighting, everybody has fallen back. It looks like we all might have an opportunity to go forward here. That is it was P7 and 6, but they are moving down now, and it looks like we just might get this position across the line. We don't, obviously. Okay, it wasn't that close. I thought it was a lot closer in race. It didn't look nearly as epic. I was gonna like add sound effects and stuff, but it was just like so unepic of a finish. Yeah, we basically didn't do anything that race, but that was still a really fun race. And finishing in P9, I'm happy with it. We went positive. We also got promoted up from our safety rating went up a whole number, so we got a lot of safety rating from that, which is awesome. If you guys want to see more NASCAR, let me know, or anything else, put it in the comments and I will check out that series. And if you guys wanted to see more of these videos in general, check out the link in the description. There's a playlist there with everything on it, or the video on your screen, and subscribe.